Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Okay, beautiful. I think I'm trying to put on my VPN because I'm not sure. Sometimes it.
Sorry, sir. We are live now, sir.
Okay, you're welcome from all over the world, wherever you're joining us from. For those of you joining on Zoom, please tell me your name and your city, and let me know if at any time this conversation is breaking. So I will probably be able to put on my VPN. I can see Fanny from. Are you also streaming on GTEx Homes platforms? Jamie.
Yes, sir.
Okay, beautiful. So I want to welcome every one of you. I can see people are joining us all over the world. We're streaming live across all platforms. From Ghana. I can see John from Nigeria. Where in Nigeria are you joining me from? So everybody tell me your name, the city you're joining me from. I'd like to know you better before I get into today's conversation. One of the things that I felt I needed to do, why I decided to do this, I've heard so many stories of people who have been defrauded when it comes to property issues. And it's largely because many of us do not even understand these things, right? We don't even know what property documents are. We don't know what property sizes are. And so we fall victim of a lot. Adebisi Ismail from Dubai, Latif from Abuja, Choma from Nigeria. Where in Nigeria? I know Sharif from Nigeria. Where in Nigeria? Daniel Akila from Yola. Yeah, Daniel, Yajin Daddy, yeah, Yola. Adeolu on Facebook from Lagos. Wem from Canada. Obed from Ugama, Libreville, Gabon. Ooh, we have Gabon here. Thank God. Nwuju from Lagos. We have Olawepo Ebenezer from Lagos also. Tumishe from Dubai. Pascal from Indonesia. Sandra from Abuja on Zoom. We have Awonuga. Okay, it's one of GTEx Homes consultant. Welcome everyone. Please feel free, invite people, share this information, get everybody to know we're live here and get them in. I will also make this training very, very interactive. So I want to start today by helping you to understand the various sizes of land that we have. Okay, but I will ask you questions and I need answer. So I want a very, very engaging class. So the first that is important that you know, particularly in our climate, is called square meter. Can everybody type square meter? Now, here in Dubai, we have square foot. Okay, they often use square foot here in Dubai. Square foot is smaller than square meter. But oftentimes we use square meter in Nigeria. So we start from square meter. Square meter is like the smallest that we do. In Dubai, they are square foot. So who can tell me how many square meter makes a meter? So that's the first question. Like I said, I want it to be interactive and I want you to give me an answer. How many square meter makes 1 meter? How many square meter makes 1 meter? Can anybody tell me? Okay, let me see whether you guys understand land sizes, land measurement. How many? Bamidele Jinodu says 100. Jeez, who is your teacher? Abdulatif also said 100. Anthony Arotolu says 4. Abraham Adiroju says there are not in the same plane, sir. What are you talking about? I don't understand what you're talking about. How many square meter makes 1 meter? Okay. Somebody even said on Facebook, Adewale says 10,000. Jesus. I think it's good that we're having this training, honestly. Okay, I did say one plot. How many square meter makes 1 meter? Okay, so somebody said 10. Actually, 3.74 thereabout. So let's Google it so we're sure. So square meter, it's usually the least measurement in Nigeria. Usually, like I said, different countries are particular about different sizes. Now in Dubai, they use square foot. Square foot is still smaller. So how many square meter makes 1 meter? Okay. I hope I'm also not making mistakes here. So how many square meter, what was my question first of all? How many square meter? What was my question? Let me be sure I'm not also confusing myself, because these things can be complicated at times. Yeah, so how many square meter makes 1 meter, right? Let me see. 1 meter equals how many square foot? So square foot, yeah, yes. So square foot, like I said, is oftentimes used here in Dubai. And for square foot, you have 10.7 is what is often used, right? 10.7 is square foot equals 1 meter. Okay, yes, beautiful. Somebody's helping me with this. Thank you so much for that. So 1 meter equals 1 meter. Yes, I know. I know 1 meter equals 1 meter. You're not giving me what I want. Okay, so we've gotten square foot. Let me see. Yes. Okay, beautiful. So 1 meter equals 1 square meter. So I think I got it wrong. I'm translating to a square foot. So 1 meter equals how many? Let's see. Square meter, I think is the same, right? Then 10,706.39 square foot, right, equals to 1 meter. So that's what we have. I believe I'm right. Okay, if I'm correct, type correct. Can somebody help me with that? If I'm correct, type correct. So 1 square meter equals 1 meter, and then 10.7 square foot equals 1 meter. So that's correct. So that's like the smallest when measuring land. From there, we then move to 1 plot. So somebody says it's not correct. So which one is correct? Abraham Aderoju says it's not correct. So Abraham Aderoju, can you help me out? I'm not talking about 1 plot. I'm not mentioning plot here. We're still talking about square foot and square meter and meter. Okay? Somebody is saying we cannot convert square meter to meter. What do you mean by that? How can you say you can convert square meter to meter? The question can't be wrong. The question is a question. Okay? Well, what I'm seeing here, 1 square meter, right? 1 square meter equals to what? 10.7 square foot, right? And then 1 square meter and 1 meter is the same from what I'm seeing here. However, let's move on. How many square meter equals 1 plot? Okay, so that's the next question. How many square meter equals 1 plot? Can we move on? How many square meter equals 1 plot? How many square meter equals 1 plot? Who can give us the answer? Somebody says 600 square meter. Somebody else says depends. Come on, who else? How many square, okay, meter equals to 1 plot? Somebody else says 540 square meter makes 1 plot. Somebody else says 600. Okay, so again, Google is our friend. Now, generally speaking, again, I'm saying Nigeria because things differs, right? So a lot of these terms changes. It depends on the country that you are in and even the property company you're dealing with. So in Nigeria, particularly in Lagos, usually 600 square meter equals 1 plot. Usually in Nigeria, in Abuja, around 500 square meter equals 1 plot. So, but generally, that is often common. You either have 540 square meter or you have 648 square meter, right? That is 18 meters by 36 meters, giving you 648 square meter. That's usually standard plot. So what often happens when it comes to plot measurement, different. So you want to make sure you ask that question. It's very important. Please note this. Ask that question when you're doing property. Ask the question. Ask the company you're buying from. Can you give me the size of your plots? At GTEX in Lagos, we do 600 square meter equal 1 plot. In Abuja, we do 500 square meter equals 1 plot. Okay, so again, please note that it differs from developer to developer and even differs sometimes country to country. Okay, so very, very important that you understand these dynamics. Are you getting value? By the way, if you guys are getting value, type I'm getting value, I'm getting value. Talk to me, guys. Are you getting value? It's good we go over this thing again. This is like real estate 101. And it's important to understand this because if you don't, a lot of times you see us claiming I'm cheated, claiming I was swindled, but you yourself don't even know what exactly you are doing, right? You didn't even understand these sizes, right? Before you even say you're doing something. My next question is then, how many plots makes 1 acre? I think that's easier for many of you to know. How many plots makes 1 acre? Anybody? Everybody has turned to mathematicians here. I love that. Somebody say 4 plot. If I say 4 plot, Anthony says 6 plot. Animation says 6 plot. Bamdele says 6 plot. Okikiola Akintayo says 6 plot. Docker says 6 plot. Yes, majority of you are correct. 6 plots makes 1 acre. That one isn't complex. 6 plot, whatever is your own measurement of 6 plot, right? Or whatever is your measurement of plot, 6 units of it equals 1 acre. However, typically 1 acre is about 4,406 thousand square meter, right? 4,046,000 square meter. That is the average size of an acre. Average size of an acre. Now, my next question is, how many acre makes an hectare? And how many square meter makes an hectare? I hope I'm not getting you guys confused. I hope it's not complex, complicated. I hope it's not complex and complicated for you guys. Guys, talk to me. Okay, talk to me, guys. I want to be sure I'm not faster than you guys. Okay, good. So beautiful. So how many acres makes so like I told you, 4,046 square meter makes an acre. How many square meter makes an hectare? And how many acre can you find in an hectare? So Bamde says 2.6, 2.4, sorry, 2.4. If I say 2.471, beautiful. Beautiful. So you guys are very, very correct. It's about 2.4 approximately, and then 10,000 square meter makes an hectare. 10,000 square meter makes an hectare, right? That's how we measure land, basically. So that's the few I want to share with you guys today about sizes. And then now we want to go to documents. Do you have any question? And have you gotten value? If you've gotten value, type I got value, I got value, I got value. So we started with square meter. I would say averagely 1 square meter equals to 1 meter, even though some argue that you can't even compare them. Okay. And then the next we move from a square meter, we then move straight to analyze how many square meter makes a plot of land. And then we said generally it's 600, some is 540. Usually it's supposed to be 646, okay? But averagely, you want to ask the seller of the land their own particular size. So like in our company, GTEX Homes, we do 600 square meter makes a plot in Nigeria, in Lagos, and in Abuja, we do 500 square meter makes a plot. So they always ask those questions from wherever you're buying property from. And then we then ask how many plots makes an acre. We agree 6 plots makes an acre. And then we say how many acre makes an hectare. We agree 2.4 approximately, and 10,000 square meter makes an hectare. And then 4,046 makes an acre. Two difference between acre and hectare. Okay, beautiful. So by the way, invite more people, get everybody here. I want to share this video and let's really, really help people, because I've seen situations where people claim they were swindled when it comes to property business, and it was just ignorance. They just didn't even know what they were buying. They were not educated. They didn't do any research. They were not aware of what they were buying. And of course, they can blame everybody. But in reality, they just needed to do their own investigation and understand what exactly they are buying. Is this making sense at all? And by the way, are you getting value? Next is documents. Okay, landed, and I think you guys will like this. I don't know if you're excited about we treating land documents. Okay, if you're excited, type I'm excited. Okay, everyone share. Please share this and let's get everybody in. Yeah, so how many of you are excited that we're talking about document? This is also another complex aspect for many people. People struggle to understand documents. So I'm going to start from the basic one. The first type of land that you usually will find is a land under committed acquisition. What is a committed acquisition? Committed acquisition is a situation whereby in Nigeria, again, I'm using this for Nigeria. I'll probably give a few instances for non-Nigerians and in the US and other parts. But in Nigeria, you have what we call committed acquisition. In the US and UK, what you have is zoning, right? Where certain lands have been zoned for certain things. And if they are zoned for certain things, you cannot use it for another purpose. But in Nigeria, we have something called acquisition. So 1978 law empowers the governor of a state to be the owner of the land on behalf of the people. And that empowers the governor to be able to put committed acquisition on a land for the purpose of building public facilities like hospital, road, schools, and things that are good and needed for the public, right? That the public needs to use. Now we've had a situation whereby families have taken the governor to court and they won the case because they were able to prove that the reason the government took over their land was not for public use, and they were able to win it. And the court had to say, government had to give them back because they couldn't prove, okay, to the court that the governor wanted to use it for public use. Is this making sense again? If it's making sense, type it makes sense. So once a land is committed acquisition, I advise you run away from that land. Don't buy it. And the reason is because, I mean, they will do road. Now, sometimes we make mistake because they are not yet using the land. There are some land, for example, they will sell to you. An express road is supposed to pass there. A bridge is supposed to pass there. Now, even if it takes 50 years, they will still build that bridge. Of course, as the population grows, they will still build it. And it doesn't make sense to have built, it will be so painful when you build massive investment there and then they bring a road, they bring something there. It won't make sense. So make sure that you avoid buying a land under committed acquisition. Now, the second type of land is non-committed acquisition, but it's still acquisition. Now, non-committed acquisition is a situation whereby because of certain development, they will just say, hey, we'll put acquisition here. However, there was no specific project that is a mark for that area. Okay, there's no specific project, right? Usually, such land you can get back. Usually, there's something we call ratification. Can everybody type ratification? So you could buy the land, and when you buy the land, you can take the receipt of the land to Ministry of Land, and of course, pay tax on the land, and they will give you a temporary permit to build on it, right? And over time, after you've built, you can then do some ratification, and you still have the land. But it can only happen for lands that are not under committed acquisition. So like I said, usually government places acquisition on areas beyond what they immediately have a specific need for. So you want to do that. Somebody will say, so how do I know if a land is under acquisition or not and all of that? Number one is make sure you can take the coordinates of the land, right? You can take the coordinates of the land. And when you're buying land, you can ask them to give you coordinates, right? And take the coordinates of the land and give it to a trusted surveyor, right? Not to family members. Please don't do. And when I say surveyor, trusted, I remember a particular land we're buying in Abuja. I gave this land to somebody. He said he knows a surveyor. And I said you should check the land out. And the guy told me the land is, the C of O is genuine. Guys, you will not believe it. Later, I discovered that the C of O is fake. So unfortunately, and I'm going to be honest with you, many of the surveyors, many of the lawyers that we have in Nigeria, many of them is either they don't even know their job, so they will tell you something they don't even know, right? And many are just genuinely wicked, right? So you have that part. So some don't know their job, and so it wasn't that they were wicked or they just wanted to cheat you. They just don't know their job. Some are actually just purely wicked. It's about what's the need for them. Some will even see a good land and tell you the land is fake, just because you didn't come through them, and they are not going to be getting commission by the time the land is sealed. So because they won't get commission, they will tell you that the land is fake, just because they are not getting any commission. So it's a funny scenario when it comes to buying property. So I would say get a real genuine, not family, because many times your family members don't even know about all these things I'm saying. So you commit family members, you end up saying they are wicked, they are thieves, and you can't trust family members. The family members don't know anything about property. Okay? They don't know anything about property. So, so make sure you get trusted people. Another way is to make sure that you're dealing with a company that has a reputation that is bigger than the money you're paying. I always say this humorously to people. I say, well, with all sense of humility, the property you're buying from me, 10 million, 50 million, 100 million, I have built a name that is bigger than that with all sense of humility. Maybe I can compromise my name if it's a 100 billion naira project. Maybe. I'm not saying I will, but maybe. But at least, Yoruba have this idea that if we're going to be eating something, we should eat the one that is strong. So look for credible organization that you know that the transaction I'm doing with these people is not something they are going to, that is worth them soiling their name. They are people of reputation, their organization, because there's so much to property deals, right? Particularly in Africa, that you can't figure it all out by yourself. You can't do all those research by yourself. All you can rely on is that you're dealing with a credible organization, right? Credible institution. And I think that's very, very key. Institution that even if they make mistake, they are going to take responsibility for it. I'll give you an example. We had an experience, one of our estates that we got some time ago. They showed us. So you should know that what I'm teaching you is gold. By the way, how many of you are excited about this class? If you're excited, I'm excited. Me that I'm doing real estate business, right? I told you I've lost more than 120 million in this business. Some years back, it was crazy. It was almost as if every step I take, I'm just being scammed. So we bought this particular property. They showed us the gazette, that it has gazette. We saw the gazette. Everything looks legit. Again, like I told you, I gave a particular surveyor. He too said legit. Okay, and it seems some of these people also have insiders in Ministry of Land. So if you don't really have senior guys helping you out, they can go check and IoT, tell them it's legit, right? But the good news, I remember I told our investors, I said, you know what? This property is under acquisition. And why we then went to work and started looking for a part of the land that is not under committed acquisition. And we later were able to get that. And today now we're starting to build on it. And all that is remaining is to do ratification. So, and that's the essence of dealing with a legitimate organization, because even if there are issues, they will sort it out. And that's why you want to say, let me look for an organization that has a name, that has a reputation, that they are not even doing for me. They're doing because that is who they are. They just love to treat people well. They love to treat their customer well. They love to do the right thing, not because I'm even going to complain, but that is in their DNA. And that's always going to be my advice. So you have committed acquisition, don't go near it, no matter what they say, no matter how. You have non-committed. Non-committed is a risk that you can take, but still know is a risk. But you can take it. But if you're dealing with responsible organization, easy. Like I told you, all they would do is to do ratification. They go pay tax on they pay stamp duty on the receipt that shows they bought that land. Once they pay the stamp duty, there are other calculations that will be done, and over time they can ratify, that land, even get permit to start building, right? Temporary, permit to start building. Is this making sense? Again, if it's making sense, type it's making sense. Number 3 type of land that you will find, particularly in Nigeria, is a free land. Okay? Now, this is a land, doesn't have any title, but it's not under any form of commitment. Okay? It's not committed in any way, but doesn't necessarily have a title. Okay? Also doesn't have a registered survey. It's just a free land. This is a good land to buy. But know that ultimately you still need to do your C of O. Now, let me also come in here. This is very, very important, because this is the trick that people often use. Now, no land, the better the title of a land, the more expensive the land is. Can everybody type it? The better the title of the land, the more perfect the title of a land, the more expensive the land is. Everybody, I want you to type it. Because this is where many of you get scammed. Okay? So you will go to Ibejuleki, for example, and you will see a land. They are beside each other. One person will say, my land is going for 10 million naira. Another person will say, 10 million naira, my own land is going for 2.5 million naira. Now, what you don't often understand is that the land beside the other one may have a better title. Are you seeing the issue now? They may be beside each other. And that's the funny thing with land. As if it's same, just a thin line separating the two of them. One has a C of O, the other doesn't. They don't write C of O on the land. So But many of us just generalize areas. So say, is it not in Ibejuleki? This other person says, I can get for 2.5. You guys are greedy. You're trying to sell me expensive land. You are thieves. You are this. And you even insult them, right? Because this person lied to you, tell you that he knows the ballet of the place, the ballet is his friend, and they will not cheat you. And then it's your cousin, it's your nephew, auntie, cousin, sister. When you eventually get duped, you start saying the world is wicked. I don't think so. I think things that anything of value comes with a price. Nothing of value is cheap. So when you see that a property is expensive, somebody once said this, and it's powerful. The confidence of someone to charge you is a proof that they are ready to offer you value. Can everybody type that? The confidence that any organization have to charge you very well for a product or service is a proof that they're ready to offer you value. Because nothing of value is cheap. There's no way somebody intends to offer you so much value, right? And he was going to do it for cheap. It doesn't happen that way. It doesn't happen that way. So you see people not knowing that this other property doesn't have so much value. I remember one particular estate, somebody was telling me, it was even in UK, and he started arguing with me, told me this property has C of O. And I started laughing. I said, how much? He's in the budget. He said, it's 2.5 million. I laughed. I said, we have an estate in that area. All that area is under acquisition. And he started arguing with me. And I smiled. I have 2 estates in an area, and I'm telling you something. Even my own, that is also under acquisition, I'm selling for even more than that. You know why? Because I already had the plan to ratify for my clients. So, of course, it took years before the late person came back and started crying. And, Dr. Stephen, you were right. I'm sorry for insulting you that day. But these people, I thought I could trust them. I thought this, and some of us don't like hearing the truth. And I tell people, how many of you agree with me that it takes some level of greed to be scammed? If you agree, type I agree. It takes some, you may not do it intentionally, maybe because you have not been to Nigeria for a long time, so you don't even know prices of property, but it takes some level of greed to be scammed. If you agree, type I agree. It takes some level of greed. It takes some level of wanting too much discount, wanting to get a better deal, right? And people who scam you when it comes to investing in property, that's what they leverage on. They leverage on your greed. They leverage on the fact that you want more discount. You want it cheap. You want it for nothing. You're ready to go, and then they tell you, oh, you can trust me. Oh, you can trust me. I'm your guy. I know the baller. He's my cousin. And then before you know, they scam me. I remember a woman here in Dubai. She told me she wanted a property, and I told her how much was the budget. At that time, her budget was 8 million. She wanted 2 plus. She wanted to use it for a warehouse. So I said to her, well, I have a place in Bejuleki you can buy. I said, hey, Bejuleki, long, it's too far. I want Aja. I said, ma, you can't get Aja for 4 million. She said, what are you talking about? She later came, even told me, I've gotten it. It's even on the express. I said, ma, I'm a property developer. I have built assets in billions in this business. You cannot get a land with C of O in a jar for 4 million. There is nothing this woman won't say. Nothing that she won't tell me. Well, cut the long story short, 2 years later, she was about building on the land. They now, and then she had to send them to confirm again. Government people came and said, what are you talking about? Express on this land. In fact, they showed that the layout of Lagos. Say express. Can you see the entire 2 plots? Express is going to pass it. She busted into tears and she's fenced it. And so she started shouting. Guess what? She was not telling me to help her look for lawyer to find out that company. I said, it wouldn't be my own with lawyer. When we were telling you to be careful, right, about that particular deal, what did you call me? Didn't you tell me that I don't know what I'm saying? That all I was doing was to make sure you buy my own property? I told you the prices, it was too cheap. So people always leverage on our greed to take advantage of us when it comes to property. So please don't be greedy. Can everybody type, I will not be greedy in buying property? What you must make sure is that you buy it right. You will always make money in real estate. Can everybody type that? You will always make money in real estate once you buy it right. I want everybody to type it. You will always make money in real estate once you buy it right. Please invite your friends, get everybody in here. This is a powerful topic. So share this video 50 times. Share this link and invite every of your friends. They must learn. There's a lot for them to learn here. Okay, but avoid greed. So number 3 type of land is a free land. It's okay to buy this. Once you buy this, there are a couple of steps you need to do. Okay, and one, you need to then do a provincial survey. You must get a deed of assignment and a provincial survey. Now, what is a deed of assignment? A deed of assignment, and I'll share that later. It's a document that transfers ownership to you. A survey is a map of the location. With the survey and the map on your own, you can go meet the Minister of Land and process your C of O yourself. That is possible. There's no issue with that. You can always buy such land. In fact, let me tell you this. C of O ultimately means that the land belongs to you for 99 years. After that, we don't know what happens. Whether the government takes it over, you have to pay the government more money. But the law of Nigeria says, so the earlier you get a C of O on the land, okay, the earlier you will still need to go back to the government after the expiration of 99 years. So I tell people, once the free land is not on the express road or near express road, you are good to go, right? You are good to go. Once it's not on the express road or near express road, you don't need to say that it must have C of O, because again, many of us have not bought property because we cannot afford, we are waiting for land with proper title and we can't afford it. I don't know if you agree with me. If you agree, type I agree. Many property with proper title, you can't afford it. You can't. If you agree, type I agree. Look at it, for example. In many of these areas, I wanted to buy a land myself close to Jasper Estate, right? And the guy knows I'm a developer. I even took him to my estate. Now, the difference was his own has governor's consent, right? I'm selling Jasper right now for 20 million, right? The only difference is that his own has governor's consent. He's telling me to pay 35 million per plot. 15 million extra just because of governor's consent. So the way property works is that the more the title is perfected, the more exorbitant they are going to sell to you, the more expensive. And many of you don't even have that money. You don't have that kind of money. So it might be better for you to just say, I will buy a land that is free of any acquisition. Over time, I will sort out getting my C of O. Sometimes when you realize that the cost of eventually doing your C of O is not as much as when you buy a land that is already perfected. Many times I've seen situations like that where the cost of processing that C of O is not as much, or getting the governor's consent is not as much as buying one that already has all those things. So sometimes, as long as the land is not on the road, and and you're sure that the map shows that area there's no express coming there, it might be better to buy a land that is free of acquisition, as a free land, and by yourself go and process your C of O, than to buy the one that already has C of O or has gone, because it might eventually be much more expensive. Now, how many of you are getting value? If you're getting value, type I'm getting value, I'm getting value, I'm getting value. Talk to me, guys. Okay, if you're getting value, type I'm getting value, I'm getting value. Beautiful. So number 5 type of land. Number 1 is committed acquisition. Number 2, non-committed acquisition. Number 3 is a free land. Okay. Then number 4, right? Number 4 type of land is an excised land or a gazetted land. An excised land or a gazetted land. Like I said to you, the 1978 law permits the governor of a state to own the land of that on behalf of the people. So when the governor, had placed acquisition on the land and eventually decided to release the land back, okay, to the people, then that is an excised land. There's also another type of land called allocated land, right? Where you get what we call letter of allocation. It also happens in places that it's been committed. So there are places that the land has been committed. When government now wants to sell the land, they give you a letter of allocation. That's what comes with it, letter of allocation. However, you also have the excised land or gazetted land. The most perfect one is the gazetted one. The gazetted one, the difference between excised land and the gazetted one. Gazette means it has been published in the pages of newspaper that the governor has released back the land to the people. Excised land means the governor has released it back, but it has not been published yet. The process of gazette means it's been made public. There's a publication, a newspaper, that this land has been released back. So sometimes you hear the land is excised. It's excised means it has been released back. But sometimes the excised version is not publicized. So you won't say gazette. You can only say the land has approved gazette when the excision was published on the pages of newspaper. Does this make sense again? If it makes sense, type it makes sense. How many of you think I should be called professor of land banking? Okay? If you think so, type I think so. How many of you think I should be called professor of land banking? The way I'm breaking it down. Okay? I think you guys should be, you guys should pay me for this, honestly. Because these are information that is really expository. Somebody said emeritus. Okay, thank you. But these things that we're teaching you guys, we lost millions to learn them. We learned them in tears. You guys are learning them for free, and you're just enjoying all this lecture. Okay, but we lost money. It was after we lost money we now learn. Some of you are enjoying learning this. We learned, a lot of us learned this by losing money. That's how we learned it. Okay, but I'm happy that you guys are enjoying this and you're getting value and you're learning. I will take questions. I know a lot of you have questions and I will still take your questions. So, if I say some of us have lost millions, absolutely. Last time I lost money was 120 million on land matters. But again, I've made billions, right? So I have no regrets. And that's one of the things I tell people. The fact that you lose in a thing does not mean you should give up. In fact, the areas you have lost money should be the areas you should look very well, because there's potential for you to becoming wealthy in those areas. And I pray for all of you who have lost money to property. May God, reward you, and may you recover it sevenfold in Jesus' name. Okay, make sure you invite people. I want this video to go viral because we could help a lot of people of our community, because a lot of people are afraid investing back at home because they just don't know these things we're teaching, right? And they've lost so much. But if they just know, knowledge is power, they're just going to be fine. So number 4, right, is excision, gazette, or letter of allocation. So that's the number 4 type of land that you're going to see. So are we ready for number 5? If you're ready for number 5, type I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. If you're ready for number 5, type I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. Okay? Number 5 is a land with C of O. And everybody type C of O. What's the meaning of C of O? I need somebody to tell me. What is the meaning of C of O? Can anybody tell us the meaning of C of O? What does it mean? And say C of O. Certificate of occupancy. Thank you. What's the meaning of R of O? Who can tell us R of O? So the next land is a land with C of O. However, in Abuja, they give what we call R of O. What is the meaning of R of O? Right of occupancy. So which is higher, R of O or C of O? Which is higher? I have a lot of intelligent people here. Which is higher, R of O or C of O? Which one is higher? R of O or C of O? R of O or C of O? C of O, beautiful. So C of O is higher than R of O. In Abuja, they always give R of O. And, but so after getting R of O, you can still go ahead and get C of O. R of O is, C of O is higher than R of O. Any day, anytime. But they almost mean the same thing. Both of them confer you the right to occupy a land and to work on a land. So you have a land with that. Now, remember, like I told you earlier, this gives you the right to the land for 99 years. Now, I want to ask you a question. Between a gazetted land, not a size land, between a gazetted land and a land with C of O, which one is higher? Gazetted land or a land with C of O? R of O means right of occupancy. C of O means certificate of occupancy. But between C of O and Gazette, which one is higher? Shegun Sodimu say Gazette is higher. Sheoluwa say C of O is higher. So we're seeing a fight. Some of you are saying C of O is higher. Some of you are saying Gazette is higher. Some say Gazette, some say C of O. Well, let me break the jinx today. And a lot of, even some lawyers don't even know what I'm teaching you today. Our gazetted land is better or higher than a land with C of O. And I will tell you why. And who can tell me the reason why? By the way, let me just even test. Some of you are saying Gazette is higher. Why is Gazette higher than C of O? Who can tell me? Why? Yes, Emmanuel, I taught you, that's true. I taught you in a class before. Who can tell me? Somebody say Gazette is published, that's why it's higher. Emmanuel Bache says Gazette has no limit. Fantastic, you got it right. Gazette is higher than C of O because C of O is for 99 years. Gazette does not expire. So a C of O expires. A Gazette does not expire. Number two, a Gazette is a proclamation of law. In other words, you know what, when they say a law is gazetted, right? So usually, hardly will you hear that a Gazette was revoked, but they often revoke C of O. There are several C of O that has been revoked. Okay, but I'm not saying it's not possible, but I've never heard of a C of O that, in fact, this was why Fashola stopped giving Gazette, because Fashola is a lawyer, so he understood it that, look, if we give too much Gazette, what then happen is that these people will need to come back to government after 99 years, right? So, and that is one very, very critical and powerful aspect to land. So a gazetted land is more powerful than a land with C of O, because number one, okay, a land with gazette, you don't need to renew it. Number two, a land with gazette, you do not need to. What's going on here? Somebody said they can't hear me. I believe can you guys hear me? If you can hear me, tap, I can hear you. Can you guys hear me? Okay, I don't know why somebody is saying on Facebook he can't hear me. I don't know why. On Facebook, can you hear me? On Facebook, can you guys hear me on Facebook? So, so for those of you on Facebook, know that when you join Zoom, sometimes on Facebook, the audio is muted, but it's not from my end. Okay, so beautiful. So, like I said, Gazette doesn't expire. Gazette is a proclamation of law, so hardly do you see them revoke it. So those are the reasons why Gazette is higher in terms of value, in terms of, than a C of O. But a C of O is what's popular. Most people know C of O. So most people haven't even heard of Gazette. So you see them always saying, no, C of O, not even understanding that C of O Gazette is even better. Number 6 type of land that you find is a land with a governor's consent. So what is the governor's consent? Now, a C of O oftentimes is not given to an individual. Usually C of O Gazette comes, that's why you see a global C of O. What's the meaning of a global C of O? It means that the C of O is not owned by one person. It was given to a larger number of land. A gazette is usually also given to a village. Okay, so the question is now, and that's why I laugh. Many of you want to buy property from GTEX. Sometimes I'll be hearing some people say, Dr. Stephen, where is my C of O? And I'll burst into laughter. I'll say, first of all, the land comes with a what? The land comes with a global C of O, or the land comes with a village gazette. So you as an individual cannot have a specific C of O to you. You only have your own individual C of O if you bought the land when it's freehold and you decide to go and personally process your land with government. That's when you will have a C of O in your name. But in a situation whereby the C of O has been given to an entire area, you cannot have the C of O carrying your own name. So what do you now get? You get a survey. A survey is a map of the and measurement of the land that you have purchased. Can everybody type it? A survey is a map and measurement of the land you have purchased. Everybody type it. A survey is a map and measurement of the land you have purchased. Everybody, I want to type it. So it's very important and very critical that you get that. A lot of people don't know that. In fact, this is where they've scammed many of you. I've seen so many people that were buying properties and they told them, any C of O, and they showed them the global C of O, and they went to sleep saying that I have a land that has C of O. Hear me and hear me well. Without a survey and a deed of assignment, the next statement, the next document you must get is the deed of assignment. Even if you have C of O, even if you have Gazette, they must give you a survey in your name and a deed of assignment in your name. Now, the deed of assignment is the most powerful land document in the world. Everybody write it down. Deed of assignment is the most powerful land document in the world, not the C of O, not even the governor's consent, because without you having a deed of assignment in your name, you don't have a land. And you cannot build something on nothing. Right? You can't build something on nothing. That's why, for those of you who are Christians, check your Bible. You will see, particularly in Ezekiel, I think Ezekiel 37, is it Ezekiel 37? Ezekiel 37 talks a lot about land and titles. You will see deed of assignment was mentioned there. You won't see them mention C of O. Because a deed of assignment is a document that transfers ownership from the seller to the buyer. A survey, a C of O does not transfer ownership. Governor's consent does not transfer ownership. In fact, a governor's consent is a witness, right? So, meaning that the governor is saying, I am a witness. Remember, 1978 law says the governor is the owner of the land. So when they have given you the map, if the land already has a C of O and it has a gazette or whatever, what you then do is you register the survey, and then the process of registering the deed of assignment, when it already has a gazette or a C of O, is called governor's consent. Because what then happens is that the governor, who, remember, the law permits to be the owner, is saying, I'm a witness to the fact that GMC Olukoya, okay, is the new owner of this particular already gazetted land, or a land that already has C of O in another name. But I'm bearing witness that this portion belongs to this particular person. At that point, you have now registered your deed with the governor, which is called a governor's consent. I thought you guys are going to clap for me, and I told you, Professor Akintayo. Come on. Thank you so much. Yomi Abu Legba says, Well done. Good job. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay. Yes. Bamidele says, do you go? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm humble. Okay. But guys, this training is what millions. What I'm teaching you now. What millions. Okay. What millions. And that's why I share this video. Let it go viral, particularly amongst our community, so people understand, because all that we often do is what somebody else told you, not something you know, not something you research, not something that there was proper training about. So it's just what somebody said. And then somebody come back and tell you, I think they cheated you. I think the land is wrong. I think it's a lie. All they said is what you are following. You yourself, you don't even know the facts for your own self. And that's why our community were often cheated, and people have lost good land just because somebody said something which wasn't even true. Okay? Yeah, put it anywhere. We can put it on WhatsApp. You can, it's streamed on YouTube. Dr. S. Akintayo on YouTube. You can go copy the link and still share. But wherever you're watching from, share that link of where you are currently watching it from. So that's the other part. So I want to explain to you further before I start taking questions. Survey and and deed of assignment. Okay. Idiki Kuku says, I'm a lawyer, and frankly, I can tell you that you have made your research too well. Thanks. You are welcome, Mr. Idiki Kuku. Well, we learned it from our own street knowledge, right? I've built multi-billion naira real estate asset in Nigeria. We have more than 20 estates, and we're building the largest luxury estates in the world. And it's going to be, we've already started that journey. And you can invest with us. We have several of our estates in Bejuleki, Lagos, Abuja, Abeokuta, Ogun State, your state, everywhere. We have amazing property. We also sell property here in Dubai. We sell property in the UK. We sell property in the US. So whichever way, wherever, we're here for you. So please note, whenever you buy property, and let me say this very, very well, whenever you buy property, either from a real estate company, or unfortunately, you can't get this from Omonile. Let me even say this clearly. Let me say this again and again. Do not buy land from Omonile. Do not do it. Let me say it again. Can everybody type it? Do not buy land from Omonile. Let me say it again. Do not buy land from Omonile. If you do, whatever you face is your own. No. You have to understand that there's none of these important titles that Omonile is going to give you. The only thing they give you is receipt. A receipt by law does not transfer title. It's just an evidence that payment was made. Do not buy land from Omonile. People like us are able to buy land from Omonile. Why? Because we buy in bulk. We just finished Ilea. Every single property we bought, we sent ramp to all the families we've bought property. You can calculate how many millions was that we spent. And that's how we do it regularly. Christmas again, we spend. Sometimes we buy cars for some people in those territories. So you are not where we are. We are doing bulk. So it favor, we're able to bear the PR costs. Sometimes you go youth levy, community levy, this levy. And that's why many of you are not able, you just wasted money when you claimed you were buying land from Onile. It was cheap, but you wasted money because that land does not belong to you. They will sell it to 5 people. The day you even come to say you want to do foundation, you must pay. Roofing, you must pay. But what I advise, buy from credible real estate company because they remove all those headaches from you. It doesn't mean they don't pay that money, but they pay it. That's why they are more expensive. They factor all those headaches. Some of these Omonile, we even fight you with charm. Can you face all that? Right? There are properties that we took by force when we wanted to be swindled. We took by force. I've had all manner of experiences buying property. Right? I've gone with a battalion of military men to forcefully get a property before. When we paid for the property, and some youths were turning themselves to thugs and will not let people work there. So we've seen all manner. We've bought property before and they started putting rituals there to scare us away, right? So can you face ritual, Ebo? Who knows what Ebo is? Those of you who are in diaspora, I'm not if you are in diaspora, Ebo, let me call it Ebo. If you're in diaspora, can you type at me diaspora? You're the UK, Canada, Germany, US. Let me see. Where are you? Okay. Do you guys know Ebo or Ebo? Or Ebola? Okay. Because you guys you're Jewish. You don't know how to call these things, right? What's Ebo? Ebo or Ebola? I remember we bought a property. Yeah, we've seen a lot doing this business. We bought a property. The next day we got there. They put calabash with all manner of stuff. I said, we ourselves were Ebola as we did. We're Ebola on our own. Remember, I always say this to people. If you must use something, everybody is using something. If you're not using something, they will use it for something. So it's funny when some of us live life com. It's funny where some of us also carry God. Me, I use Jesus. Oh, and I use him well. Okay, so we too, we are cooked, well cooked for such issues, and God has been faithful. But you don't have, many of you in diaspora, you can face Ebo. You can handle a lot of those things. So it's better to look for credible real estate company like GTEX that have a name, that have offices all over the world, UK, US, and all over. And you buy property from company like ours, you can go to bed. Okay, and one of the beautiful things about GTEX, I'm the MD, I started that company. One of this is that we send your document to you anywhere in the world, no third party. And the reason we started this was people bought property from us. They sent their family members to collect the document. And voila, the family members sold the land, right? Because they had the original document. So we started having issues where people started saying to us, Dr. Stephen, I don't trust any family member. I don't want you to give my document to any family members. So we had to partner with DHL. And now you do not need any family member to buy property with GTEX Homes. Once you make your payment, we send your survey and your deed of assignment via DHL to you anywhere in the world. We deliver. I thought some of you would clap for GTEX Homes. Okay, that's part of the innovation that we brought into it. We also run 247 CRM, where you can call our company 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., anytime. And there are people to respond to you, because we realize some people are in Australia, some people are in US, the time difference. And so we brought that innovation to the market. We also brought in e-commerce, right? We have a mobile app. You can use your card and pay for your property and continue to pay the regular if you're paying installment. And so there's a whole lot of innovation that GTEX brought into it, transparency that we brought into it. We're the first to pioneer virtual inspection of property. We're the first to start it in Nigeria years back, when nobody believed that makes sense. We'll go to the land, we'll do Facebook Live, we'll do Zoom. Today we do virtual allocation of land. So people in UK, US who can come to Nigeria for allocation, we stream while we're allocating. We mention, you see the location of where your land is virtually. So it has helped, because a lot of people were saying, okay, when I come to Nigeria, I'll buy. By the time they got to Nigeria, the property has grown by more than 25%, sometimes 50%, sometimes 100%, and they couldn't afford it anymore. Okay, so these are some of the innovation that GTEX has brought into the property business, and I think it's worth commending. So once again, you can commend GTEX. We have an amazing team, over 300 staff working at GTEX day and night. Some do night work. And so please, can you help me appreciate all those who work at GTEX, whether GTEX Lake, Nigeria. In Nigeria, we have Formole branch, we have Banana Island branch, we have Oyo State, Ibadan, we have Abuja, We have the Dubai branch, we have UK branch, we have US branch. Let me clap for all these amazing people that work with us to make that possible for our clients. But two documents I want to really, really emphasize here. Please, when you buy property anywhere, including GTEx, do not joke with your survey and your deed of assignment. Contract of sale is not equal to ownership, and people miss this a lot. I've seen situations where people thought because they got receipt, it confers the land to them. No, it does not. I've seen situations where people feel because they signed a contract of sale, it transfers ownership to them. No, it does not. A deed of assignment and a survey of the particular place that you bought is what transfer ownership. Whether the land has C of O or it doesn't have C of O, your primary document that you must insist that you must get is a survey and a deed of assignment. Are you copy? If you copy type, I copy, I copy, I copy. Come on, guys, talk to me. If you copy type, I copy, I copy, I copy. Okay? Very important. It does not, even if you are buying the property from your blood brother, your cousin, your nephew, the king of your town, you must make sure. Usually, your survey and your deed, you need to pay extra for it. Some companies merge it together. At GTES, we don't merge it, right? Because it takes a lawyer to prepare the deed of assignment. And usually lawyers charge between 10%. Some, if they are doing bulk, can take 5%. But standard price is 10% for a lawyer to prepare a deed of assignment, except if it's bulk, the volume and the amount involved. Also, then you have survey. The survey is also done by a surveyor. Okay, it's done by a surveyor. Now, the surveyor also collects money because he goes and measures the land and picks the coordinates and all of that. When you have these two documents, now you can claim you own a land. If you don't have it, do not, it does. I'm not saying, because nobody's going to give you a deed of assignment and a survey until you finish paying for a land. But I've seen situations where some people paid for land and they were telling them, come and pay for the documents. They said, I'm not going to pay. Hey, you don't have land though. And it's usually easier for companies because remember, the value of that property keep appreciating. I've had situations whereby customer we start, because we do pre-launch. So usually we give 50% discount many times when we start launching a new estate. And some people are given opportunity to pay in 3 months. That's the standard. If you're paying 6 months, you pay extra. There was a situation where people say, you know what, I'll pay for 6 months, and they pay the regular. But in that 6 months, the value of the land had doubled, right? But meanwhile, they finished paying for the land. They were now they didn't pay for document. It's easy for the company to look for somebody else who is ready to pay the new price, right? And he found you back. Do you agree with me? So you can be cheated that way. They gladly, some of our estate that some people bought from us now, they bought it when, Jasper Estate, some people bought it when it was 6 million, 7 million. Now it's going for 20 million, right? It's easy for me and for my company, if you have not paid for your document, somebody who is ready to pay even 18 million, you paid 7 million. You paid 8 million. Easy. The person is saying, no, I can't pay 20, I'll pay 18. Okay? Your 8 million, take. Bye-bye. Be going. But you see people wanting to do, and some of us always have this, no, I will not agree. I will not pay. Once the money you are paying for title is way less than the value of the land put together with how much you even pay for the land, you better rush and pay your title. Because it's easy for you to lose the entire land, okay, in the name of you didn't pay for title. And they win in court too. Forget that one. They win in court. Because what really transfer ownership to you is your survey and your deed of assignment. So please, anywhere you have bought property from a real estate company, make sure you pay for the document if they are charging documents separate from the land, because many do that. Even our company, you pay for land separate, you pay for documents separate. So always pay your document on time, so that way you know You have your survey, you have your deed, the land belongs to you. Any day, even if you come 20 years from now, the map, the survey will show where that land is. Even if they've developed the whole place, they can use the survey to trace where your land is, and you can win back your land. How many of you are excited about what I've taught you today? If you're excited, type, I'm excited, I'm excited, I'm excited. Come on, talk to me. Okay? Type, I'm excited, I'm excited. A lot of you have been asking for my number. First of all, I do not do free coaching. Okay? I do paid mentorship. I have a new real estate course on how to do real estate in 4 continents of the world. Okay? And it's very, very important that you know that. It's very, very important that you know that. I charge for all these things. Today, I'm in a good mood to do free. So I will give you my WhatsApp number, my US WhatsApp line. You can only call me if you want to buy property from my company, right? To chat me up and ask me for free counsel, I'm not interested. So +185 7701 5527. WhatsApp chat only. Please don't chat me up and be asking me to give you free counsel. In fact, some people will tell me to start counseling them about property they bought from another company. When we ask you to buy from our own company, you didn't buy. Okay, so doesn't make sense to me. If you want if you want mentorship, counseling, all of that, go and pay. No problem. Right? So I've done enough freebies tonight, and I think I've taught you enough. And how many of you agree it's fair enough? Okay? If you agree it's fair enough, type fair enough. So the number again, for those of you who are asking, okay, the number again, you can reach me is +1 85 77 01 5527 +1 87 +1 85 +1 85 77 01 5527. Okay, again, +1 85 77 01 5527. Please note, don't call me. WhatsApp chats only, no calls. Okay, and immediately tell me your name, where you are reaching out to me from, and your budget. Please don't chat me that you want to buy property if you won't tell me your budget. Anywhere in the world, any real estate seller will tell you that how they know whether somebody is serious or not serious is their budget. So you don't, come and say, I want to buy property. Say, what's your budget? Say, I don't have a budget. There's nothing like that. If you don't have a budget, it means you are not serious. You're just trying to waste my time. So always make sure that you have a budget and your name, where you're chatting me up from, and your budget. What's the minimum property we have? It's 5 million. Our property is averagely is 5 million. That's the list of the prices. Because what we do is called service plot. Can everybody type service plot? So GTEx is into service plot. What is a service plot? It's a plot of land that you're buying where the developer or the seller is going to provide road, fence, security, electricity, running water, and every form of infrastructure. So where people who sell service plot, and a service plot value always appreciate more than normal plots. And people don't know the difference. So you see, someone say, property is expensive. And go and buy the one that is not serviced. The value won't appreciate. You will likely lose the land because they are not even providing security. Okay? They are not doing anything. So they always go for service plot, because any service plot you buy will appreciate. There's security, there's electricity, there's road. They are going to do all the infrastructure. And so it gives you that modern estate that you have in UK, US, in Germany, in Canada, in Dubai. But all these underdeveloped mushroom estates, they will just do corner piece somewhere. And, in fact, somebody can build his house and block the road to your own house. everything is just done, you know. You don't want to buy property that way. Buy in a serviced plot, right? Because they will provide all the infrastructure. Even if it's waterlogged, they will some fill and steel fence and do all those things. That's where you want to buy property. Somebody saying, what's the discount I have? Well, chat me privately, right? I can't disclose discount on social media. However, there's a warning to my discount. Never ask me for discount when you are not ready to pay. My rule when it comes to discount is when you ask for discount, you must be willing to pay immediately once I give you that discount. So if I give you discount and then you don't pay, I'll never attend to you again. And I mean it. I'm telling you now, the world is hearing. Because you've wasted my time, and I don't like time wasters. Remember, God didn't give us money. How many of you were born with Ghana must go of money? When you were born, your mother pushed. Say, push. Then you came out. Then your hand was still inside your mom. Then he said your mother should push further. Say, and after she pushed you, your hand now brought a whole Ghana must go full of money, or a whole bag full of money. How many of you were born that way? Everybody wasn't born with money. We're born with time, and the time is equal for everyone. We all have 24 hours. It's how we use our time that times are wealthy. So when you meet a wealthy man and you're wasting his time, chit-chatting, some people even do hello, and then I'll say, hi, how are you? I'll say, fine. How's your family? You don't know my family. Don't ask about my family. Go straight to the point. My name is so. I'm reaching out to you from so. This is my budget. I'm interested in property. I don't have that time, right? And a lot of people do that. I don't understand. Like, hey, hi, like we're babies. How are you? You fine? You okay? Go straight to the point. Thank you for asking for my welfare. I appreciate it, but go straight to the point because there's no time, right? How are you? How's your family? How's your wife? You don't know my wife. Go straight to the point. So yes, I'm willing to give you discount, but reach out to me privately and I'll let you know the best discount I can give, but be ready to pay immediately in 1 hour from the time I give you the discount, else discount gone. That's how I work. So question one that I'm going to be taking, what's the difference between an agreement? What's the difference between an agreement and a deed of assignment? Beautiful question. One of you asked that question. Now, first of all, you need to know that an agreement is basically a document between you and the seller that explains the property, the terms of selling the property, the terms of payment is also in there. So it's an MOU, is a mutually agreed document that kind of states the details of that transaction. It does not transfer ownership. And you need to know that. An agreement does not transfer ownership. What by law transfers ownership is the deed of assignment. That's what transfer ownership. Next question, somebody's asking, what does it take to market for your company? So if you want to market for a company, you visit www.gtexthomes.com. Okay, once you register, don't rush to leave. It will redirect you to a WhatsApp page and a Facebook community. In that community, you can ask, you can let them know you are new and you need your onboarding document, and they will give you all the flyers, video that educates you further, flyers of all the events that we have, and you will be able to start your journey of marketing. We give 10% commission on land, 5% on house. If you sell for us in Dubai, we give 2% commission if you sell property that we sell in Dubai. So yeah. And we'll give a lot of incentive. We're sending about 20 people to Maldives, all expense paid trip. So just to appreciate them for selling 6 plots. We send them to, very soon we are launching our car promo where we're giving people cars. So Emmanuel Woko says, is there a difference between deed of transfer or deed of assignment. Yeah, it's, you know, so you have deed of conveyance, you have deed of transfer, you have deed of assignment. Deed is deed, but there are different terms used, right? In different situations, right? So, and so it's just a terminology based on the peculiarity of the property being purchased, right? So deed of conveyance, deed of assignment, but bottom line is that a deed, right, is a document that transfers ownership, whether it's deed of conveyance or deed of assignment or deed of transfer, isha, a deed, right? It's a transfer of ownership. I hope that makes sense. Um, next question says, I miss, by the way, on Facebook, you're free to ask question also. A lot of you are thanking me. Thank you guys for thanking me. I appreciate it. I missed the earlier part of this video. Will there be a replay? Yeah, go to my YouTube, Dr. S. Akintayo on YouTube. You can watch it there. It's there right now. Please, I've sent questions. Okay, so let me see your question. Is it compulsory for landowner to engage the lawyer of a real estate company in preparing the property document? Yes, a real estate company has the right to say their lawyers have to prepare that. Like in our case now, we prepare the document. You can't say you are giving a third party. It's our lawyers that know the history of the land. Your lawyer doesn't know the history of the land. It's our surveyor that knows the measurement of our land and where our land is. Your surveyor does not know. So there are a lot of arguments that people often make that doesn't make sense. Even with us, when we are buying land from Omonile, we always insist that their lawyer drafted, right? Even if for any reason they say they don't have a lawyer, we'll draft it as they say they should show a lawyer. Because they are the ones that know the history. It's their lawyer that knows the history of the land. Their lawyer that can cite all the details. Same thing with their surveyor. We never go to a land, even when we are buying from families or wherever, without the surveyor of the seller. Because he's the one that knows the land, he's the one that knows his measurements, he's the one that knows the history, right? So we often see some lawyers giving their clients advice that I think is common sense. I don't even think we should be dragging law, in this case now. I think it's just common sense to know that, look, this lawyer of the company knows the history, so he can do proper citation. The surveyor knows the story of the land, so it's better they draft. You as the client's lawyer can still go through it and advise your clients, okay? But it makes sense that the seller's lawyer, perfect the document because they know the story. All you can do is to go through it and counsel your client to be sure that it's in favor of your client. That's what I think makes sense. Where is the situation? We're in a situation where a buyer already has a lawyer. Shouldn't he be at liberty to engage his lawyer to prepare the deed? I don't think so, because like I said, their lawyer knows the history of the land and can cite the details better. Their surveyor knows the history. Godwin Ademola says, where is GTEX property situated in Ibadan? We have Lagos Ibadan Express, we have Monia, we have Oluyole, so we have quite many. So let me also read questions on Facebook. John says, what is the importance of irrevocable power of attorney? Right, so the irrevocable power of attorney can only be a governor's consent. Right? A governor's consent can be revoked because the governor, remember, is the owner of the land according to law. So, I mean, like I said, many people don't know these things. So some people even use words they shouldn't use. So if you are not the governor, right, if you put irrevocable, I don't know what you mean. Have you taken the power of the governor of the state? So is the governor's consent, once the governor's consent has been appended, then you can say that document is irrevocable. Favor Son says, I appreciate you, sir. How can one register to be your student? Well, I charge a lot. I charge $10,000 to coach people in real estate, how they can start real estate, how they can make money from real estate. I give discount though, but I've given you my number. Chat me on WhatsApp. +1 8577015527. WhatsApp chat only. Don't call. Just chat on WhatsApp, please. Akintayo Abioye says, please, our WhatsApp platform is full. I have been asking for new platform. Well, speak to the admin, right? Just check the admin number on the group you are, and they will do that. And any GTS people here, can they go check that? I didn't even know that. Apparently, the WhatsApp platform is full. So we're going to do that. Oguniyi Oluwatunwase says, sir, can I get more explanation on deed of agreement? Which one is deed of agreement? Oh, Lord of mercy. Listen, there is only contract of sale. Anybody telling you deed of agreement? I don't know what that is. People tweaking word and twisting word, right? I don't know what that is, right? It's just an imagination. There is contract of sales or MOU, right? A deed is only given when you are finished paying for a land and it transfers. Deed of agreement doesn't transfer. So they're just tweaking words, right? Tweaking words. We prefer WhatsApp because people are more active on WhatsApp than on Telegram. Paul Ifedura says, how can someone sell a land bought from GTEx when is not issue C of O? All that you need to use to sell a land is the survey and the deed of assignment. That's all you use to sell a land. So if you buy a property from GTEx, for example, as long as you have the survey of that land and you have the deed of assignment of that land, you can sell it. Like I said, even with GTEx, there are some land that we buy that the land was not that the person selling to us was not the direct person whose name is on the C of O. It's not the direct person whose name is on, but once he can show us the deed of assignment, okay, and the survey, we will buy it. Because it means that whoever was the original person whose name is on the C of O, right? Once that person signs a deed of assignment and there's a survey, he has transferred his rights, his ownership to that person, right? So again, we have taught you today, because many of you didn't know this before now, the most powerful documents when it comes to property, okay, in terms of that you own it to, of course, survey, deed of assignment, governor's consent are more powerful. But we're saying what transfer ownership, which should be your primary document, most important document to have, is the deed of assignment and the survey, because that's what, and you cannot even claim C of O when the land is not even yours. So people get deceived with all this C of O scam that goes out there. Oh, the land has C of O. Meanwhile, you don't have the survey, you don't have the deed of assignment. It's not your land now. Even if you have C of O, yes, but it's not your land. It's not your land. What makes it become your land is deed of assignment and a survey. Okay? So Alpha Alaji Opeyemi Lukman says, making video while paying and signing document with sellers and buyers, does it make sense? Yeah, you can do videos to, making video is okay, but it still doesn't change the story. It's not equal to deed of assignment. If the seller, which is what family members do, family members give you receipt, that you did video of the receipt they gave you, they are not denying that you gave them money. Receipt means you paid them, right? And they are not denying that you paid them. It's the deed that by law means that they transferred the ownership to you. So video or no video, if videoing the deed, yeah, it makes sense. But whether you video or no video, as long as the right signatories, have signed the deed is signed, it's good. If it's a company, a credible member of the organization signed, it is signed for the company. Yomi says, you can create Telegram. I've said that already. We don't use Telegram because people are more active on WhatsApp than Telegram. Yaki says, which is better, governor's consent or certificate of occupancy? Maybe you join us late. We told you that a governor's consent is higher than a C of O. But for you to buy a land with governor's consent, you will pay ×3 of a land with C of O. And we explain all these things to you guys. the more the title, the more expensive the property. So sometimes it's better to buy a land that is free of acquisition, and you gradually process your document yourself. That way, you are not paying too much, right? I just gave you an example that my own estate, right, a land beside my own estate, also, just because, the land has a governor's consent, I'm even selling my own estate. And you remember, I'm selling my estate as a service plot, meaning those who buy from me, I'm doing fence, I'm doing road, I'm doing electricity, I'm doing everything. This man is just selling me bare land and told me to pay 35 million because it's me and we're friends anyway. Why? Because it has governor's consent, right? So the higher, once a land with C of O is more expensive than a free land that does not have C of O. And sometimes this pricing difference is ×5, ×10. Okay, a land with governor's consent is more expensive than a land with C of O. And sometimes the difference is like ×2, ×10, ×3. So meanwhile, you can also do your own processing. So why must you always, many of us can't afford it. Of course, if you can afford a land with perfect title, go and buy it. But if you can't afford, rather than waiting and saying, I've not bought property because I don't have I don't have money to buy, start somewhere. Me, Dr. Stephen, you are saying, I started with land without C of O. That's where I started from. So if I started with land without C of O, and today God has blessed me with property worth billions. So you don't have billions, shouldn't you start at your level? Life is in phases, men and sizes, live your size part-time. Start with what you can afford and be okay and grow your way to the top, right? And you see, once you start, God will give you favor. That's the way it works. Start somewhere. It doesn't have title. As long as it's not under committed acquisition, buy it. Go and buy land anywhere. Go and buy. Just go and buy land. Be a landlord. Okay? There are only two people called Lord in this world, God and a person who has land. Doesn't that make sense to you? Two people called Lord in this world, God, your creator, my creator, and a landlord. So how many of you want to become a Lord? If you want to, type me. How many of you want to become a Lord? So become a landlord. That's all. So there's power in owning property, right? All this, I tell people, you cannot build wealth if you are not humble. Some of you, Ibejileki is too far. I could do, God forbid. Me, I want like Lekki phase 1. Okay, continue be shouting Lekki phase 1. If all of us were saying Lekki phase 1, we won't be here, right? Start at your level. And young people, start at your level. Start at your level. You see some people say, what's your budget? He said 3 million. Sir, can you do Ibadan? Me Ibadan. Allah Majah. I want Lagos. Continue. Start at your level. Do you accept crypto payment for property? No, we do not. We only have 210 GTEX consultant on WhatsApp. Maybe the person can be the admin. If the land has survey, it means I can only go for deed. No, you must still have your own survey in your name. It's called provincial survey. You must get a survey in your name, provincial survey in your name, and a deed of assignment. Just that you will still need to register the survey. You still need to register the deed. I told you the process of registering the deed is called governor's consent. The process of registering the survey is you go to Ministry of Land and they register the survey in your name so that it's recorded with government, okay, in your name. That's the registration. So that a land already has a survey, a registered survey, does not mean that when you buy it, you don't still do your survey. And like I said, this are again how people have been swindled. Because if you don't do your own survey, the land is still not in your name, right? It's still not in your name. Government is not in government record that it's in your name. So you must, it doesn't matter, the land is, he has registered survey with government, yes, no problem, but still get your own provincial survey in your own name that the seller has done a survey in your own name. Yeah, thank you. That the seller has done a survey in your own name, right? The seller doing a survey in your own name is critical. Okay, let me see if I can still take a few more questions. Guys, you all didn't pay for this class, did you? So whenever I stop, I stop. What is the difference between a provincial survey and a registered survey? A provincial survey is a survey that has not been registered with the Ministry of Land. A registered survey has been registered with Ministry of Land. And it takes a registered surveyor to produce a registered survey. A provincial survey is usually what the seller gives you, which is that this is the measurement of the place I'm selling to you. So you can then work with a registered surveyor to then go and work with the Surveyor General of that state to then have it in their record that this land belongs to this person. Let me see. Is the land agreement between vendor and purchaser, is it the same as memorandum of understanding? Yes, it's the same thing. MOU agreement is the same. So what are the red flags to avoid being defrauded? So I'm coming late. Go and watch the video from the beginning. I think this is what I would tell you. If you want to buy property, just buy from credible people who have a name to protect. The benefits that comes with a service plot is it for a lifetime? Yes, now. I mean, once you buy a service plot, it means that they are providing the infrastructure of that land. It means that it's a well-structured estate. It's a well-structured property. And it's always the best to buy because you can never compare a place that's structured to where it's not structured. Why is Lekki Phase 1 more expensive than Oju Elegba or Mushin? It's planning now. Proper planning, proper infrastructure, right? Why is Ikeja more expensive than Abule Egba? Proper planning, proper infrastructure. So once the land you're buying is a service plot, you already have an edge, right? Because it means the entire place will be planned well. Well, one of the reasons why Ikeja is better is because many of the places like Omole, Magodo, Salvation Bus Stop, a lot of these places were planned by private sector. They started their small estates. And because of their own small estate, the entire place went up. Even government estate like Africa Garden is private. MK Abiola Garden in Alausa, because everybody did a service plot, right? That ultimately made the value of Ikeja to be better than Abule Egba. So you need to understand how real estate works. Structure, planning. A land with plan, with structure, will always appreciate in value compared to one without, right? Even if it's facing the express. If you buy a land from people, even if it's facing the express, if it's not properly structured in form of an estate with infrastructure, the value will not appreciate like the one that may even be inside, but has better infrastructure. Okay, so I bought a property and the company was now asking me to pay their lawyer to prepare the deed of assignment for me. And I objected on grounds that I have my own lawyer who wants to prepare the document. Like I said, you are wrong. They are the owner of the property. Their lawyer knows the history of the land. Okay, their surveyor knows the history of the land. Let them prepare it. Your lawyer doesn't know the history. Does your lawyer know where they buy it from? Does your lawyer know the origin of that land, the story of that land, the history of that land? No, now. So pay them their documentation fee and move on. There are some arguments that are not worth having. I've seen several people lose juicy properties just because of senseless argument. Okay, trying to play their smart. Doesn't make any sense. Will there be monthly, yearly service when you buy a plot, a service plot? Absolutely. Ultimately, when the estate is built, you have your normal infrastructure because, of course, they are provided lights now. You have to pay for lights, your light bill, the same way in a standard estate, right? If you live in Omole, if you live even in US, standard estate, you pay for infrastructure. That's normal. But That is peanut compared to the appreciation of, of the estate. Dr. J. Kazim says, good afternoon. This is Dr. Jumoke Kazim. Can I chat with you more details on waste electricity? Absolutely. Chat me on WhatsApp. So Dr. Jumoke Kazim wants to provide, infrastructure. She's partnering with EU. They fund power projects worth $500 million. So like you can see, many of these are estate. It's money that we're using to do the infrastructure. Right? $500 million to do this, to do that, to do this. So obviously you will, once the estate start running, you will need to pay for infrastructure or development fee and stuff. Please, do we know a land that is free of, how do you know a land that is free from acquisition? I think I've answered that. So you can go watch the video from the beginning. You can pick the coordinate and take it to the Ministry of Lands, and they will chart that place for you. Adeyemi says thank you, but like I said, all that headache, right? You don't want to. May you not see land wahala. All that headache is not needed. Just buy from a credible real estate company and go and sleep, right? All this headache you guys are having, just go and sleep, right? You buy from GTEX now, go and sleep. All our clients, many of them, 5 years later before they come. And when they come, they see their land. No story, nothing. So you see estate like that, buy. Now the one that tell you they're selling cheap, you buy, then you now start having headache. Oh, they cheated me. Oh, story. Well, penny wise, pound foolish. That's why sometimes I don't pity people when they come with their stories of they were duped, because you too, you saw a better opportunity, you didn't take it, you went for the one that was cheap, and what you saw. Please, how do we know land that is free from acquisition? I think I've answered that. You take the coordinates of the land, you go to the land and you take the coordinates, and then you take it to the Ministry of Lands and you chart it. So they will to chart you and tell you what's the state of that area. Well, like I told you, even this, they do fake of it. Some of these land sellers, family will go and meet because it's their brother that works in Ministry of Land. So we tell you the land is not under any acquisition. It's when you're about building, you realize that you made a mistake. Okay. Yes, with GTEX, you can come up with your own standard of design, but always ask the estate you're buying from whether they allow such, but we allow. Is it possible to get recording of this? Yes, go to YouTube, you'll see it. So I'm going to take a few questions on Facebook and we're done. No more questions. Adeyemi says, thank you for the educative good work. God is rescuing a lot of people from future poverty through your teaching. He who has an ear, let him hear. Absolutely. Charles Robinson says, please, when doing the survey, is the seller or the buyer that do the survey? If it's a registered company, a structured real estate company, okay, that is selling to you, they will do their survey for you. They will do the deed, but they will charge you for it separately. If it's a structured organization, I've already told you, stop buying land from Omonile. Because when you do, whatever your eyes see, you're on your own. Stop buying. Because they will sell land to multiple people. And people start fighting each other. So don't bother. Go look for, even if it looks as if it's expensive, I promise you, in Nigeria, property value always appreciates. Right? Even EFCC chairman was saying that he doesn't know why property market has never fallen in Nigeria. Because the housing deficit is over 17 million. So you can't go wrong when you buy from a credible source when it comes to property in Nigeria. You can't go wrong. Thank you so much for the insight. My question is for those with low budget, less than 2 million. What factor do you look out for to know a prospective land? Still don't buy from Omonile. Look for credible real estate company that still sell land, maybe affordable land, Yes, why not? But don't buy from Omonile. Rather, keep saving the money till it's worth by or do installment. Like you can deposit that 1 million with GTEX and and we spread the payment. We do that for you. You can spread that payment, right? Rather than to go and be buying, from Omonile, and you really don't have land. Blessing Florence says, God bless you for the lecture. Thank you for this. You're welcome. Debola says, please, can you make a video available? Yes, on YouTube. Dr. S. Akintayo on YouTube. Go subscribe and watch. Ugo Ikem says, I bought from original buyer in a standard estate. Document still original buyer number. Does this affect if I want to build? Should I change the name? It doesn't affect. You can still build, but you can, if you can afford it, go and change the name. Yes, you can. No, but once you have the deed and you have the survey in your name, you're good. But there's nothing wrong with you going to change it. I told you the process of changing the deed is what you call a registered survey, where you are registering with the Surveyor General of that state. The process of registering the deed, on the other hand, is the process of getting the governor's consent. So the process of registering the survey is when they go and register with the Surveyor General. Okay? The process of registering the deed is when you get the governor's consent. It's quite, you have to still pay money, so if you can afford it, go. But if not, it doesn't stop you from building. Some of our estates still has the name. If you search it, it still has the name of those we bought it from. It doesn't stop us. Oluwasegun Ayodele says, Doctor, can I buy land that has court ruling over government acquisition? Absolutely. Court judgment is still the strongest. Supreme Court judgment is the most powerful judgment. In fact, is the most. If you have a land with Supreme Court judgment, it's the most powerful land. Nothing that any governor can do. It's the most powerful land. Thank you, sir. This is real. We are grateful. You're welcome. Olayinka Mojisola says, buy GTS land or go to bed. Absolutely. That's one of our clients in London, right? They bought GTS land. They are sleeping with 2 eyes closed. So do the right thing. Lucky Okoje says, Professor Stephen, you are a great role model. Thank you. Arabia Shola says, what's the difference between deed of assignment and deed of conveyance? I told you deed is a deed. People use words based on the terms associated to when you bought it. Ilesomit says, I just love you, dear brother. Thank you. Eniola says, if I buy a land and I later change my mind not to build, how long am I allowed to leave the land before I resell? GTS doesn't force you. You can keep your land for 20 years, 50 years, 100 years. You meet your land there. Once you have your survey, your deed, you can trace your land. No pressure. Eniola Additional says, please, if I buy land and I later, okay, I've answered you. Michael EJ says, good evening. Can I have the correct spelling of GTEX? It's GTEXT. Okay, GTEXT. GTEXT. Homes. We're across all social media and we're verified on Instagram, on Facebook. GTXT. Yeah, GTEXT. My number again, okay, so you're asking for my number is +1. My number again is +1 857701 5527. That's my number. Okay, +1 857701 5527. WhatsApp chat only, no calls. WhatsApp chat only, no calls, please. I'm often busy. I'm often in meetings. So no call, just chat. You can always call our office, Google our office. We do 247 CRM. You can talk to people. If you call them 2 a.m., they will pick and explain all these things to you. But if you must talk to me, the MD and founder of the company, okay, I don't owe you, I'm not this customer service. We have more than 300 people that have been employed. So I don't owe you explanation. I don't owe you talk. I don't owe you customer service. Go call the office. But if you must talk to me on my private line, those are my terms. No call, just WhatsApp chat. And you quickly state your name, where you're joining from, and your budget and your inquiries. I love you all, and I want to thank all of you for listening. Cyprian George says, "What a lecture. Thank you, sir, for the eye opener. I have started advertising GTEx." Wow, good to know that. Thank you for advertising GTEx. Thank you for doing that. Yaki. Okay. Again, one more time. Can you guys, again, what you don't celebrate, you do not attract. So I think if I've done a good job, you should commend me. Me, I don't want is when I die. Some of you now say, that Steve Akintayo is a good man. Celebrate me now that I'm alive. Okay? Now that I've done something good, use your mouth and mention that I've done a good job. Okay? And somebody say, can one pay with crypto for your property? No, we do not, sell property in crypto yet. Okay, so come on. I thought you guys are going to celebrate me while I'm alive, not when I'm dead. Nigerians love to celebrate people when they are dead. Everybody's a good man when they are dead, but when they're alive and they've done a good job, we're all looking. But boy, you like it. What's arrogant you? It's when he died and I say, he's a good man. He's a great man. Oh, wonderful person. Me, while I'm alive, celebrate me now. Okay? Celebrate me now while I'm alive. Oh. I love you all and thank you so much for being part of today's class. Don't miss it for anything in the world. Next episode, we're going to be looking at how to buy property in Dubai. Okay, so we're going to be looking at documentations and how not to be defrauded when buying property in Dubai. Remember, you can go to our website, www.gtexhomes.com, www.gtexhomes.com. You can follow us across all social media handle at gtext homes, okay, across all social media handle. We got an award, the most reliable, an innovative real estate company in Nigeria. How many of you are happy to hear that? Yeah, we got that award some months ago. The most reliable and innovative real estate company in Nigeria. So God has favored us and helped us a lot. And we're happy. And we're hoping that we can help you secure your property safely, help you invest in the right way. You can also do cash investments. Some people say, I don't want to buy property, but I want to give you my money. You can invest with it. You keep buying more real estate with it and give me regular returns. Yes, we do that also. We do that as well. You can chat me up on that. I will link you up with a team. They are called GVest. GVest is our vehicle for those who are investing with us in terms of, because we always have people investing and they get returns. People have always said one of the reasons why they love GTEx is because you can always, there are companies that you don't know the owners, right? You can't even trace those who are behind that company, right? So when you see a company that you can trace the owner, the MD, the founder is always in your face, is because of the integrity, is because, nobody comes on social media when they have dirty skeleton in their cupboard. Okay, people are going to come after them. So the reason why you can see GTEx and our team were always everywhere is because we have done business well with integrity, right? That when our customer come on social media, they're even the one shouting, buy from them, or I have probably like the lady in UK telling you now. You see GTEx customer come and say, invest with GTEx. I've done business with this company. A man did business for over 50 million. The other time we did our buyers meeting, he said to everybody, said, please do business with that company. I've never had peace of mind doing real estate business like I've done with GTEx. So we're bold and here because we've done things well. And but it's cost us a lot. That's why we're not cheap, because doing real estate with integrity, doing real estate, the way we've done it comes with a lot of prizes, a lot of cost. It comes with a lot of cost. I can tell you that. I know how much it's cost us to have been able to maintain this brand. Cost us a lot, right? We love you. Thank you once again. God bless you and good night.